ToonCast Beyond 65 is the new 30.
Episode 0 of ToonCast Beyond, which is...
Beyond good, beyond evil, beyond your wildest imagination.
Yes, that was the legendary Victor Caroli here on ToonCast Beyond. Hello and welcome to Episode 0, brought to you by the Geekcast Radio Network. I am your host, Steve, Joe, and Mike, and joining me to launch ToonCast Beyond is the guy that missed Episode 100 of ToonCast, Kevin Optimus Solo Thompson. Hello.
Yeah, buddy.
Asshat. Steve Megatron Phillips, hello.
Good day, sir.
And Tara the Rising Star, hello.
Hey.
Today we're going to be going through Toon Beyond's show format, discussing the transition from ToonCast Classic to ToonCast Beyond, and so much more. So, what's going on with you, Steve?
Good day, sir. No,
I already said that.
I know. I just thought I'd be redundant. But, no, I've been dealing with, the Dark Glass Beast Wars project for the duration of the last, 48 hours. Trying to catch up with people because they're like, we're kind of ready to start animating pieces and we need audio. And I'm like, okay, well, let me get a hold of all the voice cast. And I've so far got a hold of everybody but 3 people that I haven't heard from in 5 months.
And one of those 3 people or 4 people was almost recast with the original voice actor of Depth Charge.
No, that was a possibility. They didn't say absolutely.
I said almost.
He wasn't even on the 3 list. But he could have been recast as with the original voice if...
Which, if they can get an original voice of anybody, they should recast it, so...
Are you saying you're going to give up your role?
No, I'm saying if they had the original voice actor.
That's what I'm saying. They were going to talk to David Sobolov.
Nice.
But, we may still need some Cheetor, Silverbolt, and Rampage loving.
There we go.
But anyways, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with. And then, of course, slight updates to the site and trying to secure my future employment endeavors.
Yes. Which we're still not revealing as of yet, so...
No, not yet.
So what's been going on with you, Tara?
Not a heck of a lot. Just been relaxing and enjoying my summer vacation before I head off to my camp job at the end of this month. It's a day camp. I'll still be around, but just been relaxing, going to anime cons, working on props and costumes, and playing a lot of Dragon Age, as many people who know me know that I like to play Dragon Age. And I'm pretty addicted to it. But other than that, not too much, and good to be back on the network.
Yep. And the asshat who couldn't show up for the 100th episode, what have you been doing?
I'm trying to see how many times you're going to mention that in this episode, but
you better start counting now.
I've been trying to determine how to survive against the bipolar Mother Nature that we have going on right now. We had a tornado hit right by us, actually, I think 2 weeks ago, and it took one of my neighbor's trees and threw it into their house and a couple other things. And apparently last night I had a tree out in my front yard get struck by lightning because there's 4 branches in a row that are all broken at the trunk. So I'm going to be dealing with that. Other than that, I've been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work at behindthevoiceactors.com that nobody can see about right now because it's not visible to the public, but apparently I am solely responsible for voice crediting all the actors for every theatrical short that's ever been made. So
nice.
I'm about, I think 25 down and over 100 more to go. And that's not just individual theatrical shorts. That's just like the main stars. So that's what I've been doing.
Very
and
cool.
Of course, recording episodes of the telecast. So if you haven't watched it or listened to any of the telecast episodes, go get you some telecast lovin'.
Yes, a bunch of shameless plugs.
Love that telecast.
I think I've told this story before.
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell it again. And you guys all know this, but I don't remember where exactly in ToonCast Classic it was. It was either between episodes 60 to 70 or 61 to 79. I don't know. Damn. I always knew how I was going to end ToonCast with the DCAU spotlight and wrap-up. I always knew 93 to 99 and then 99.5, that would be the entire DCAU, and then episode 100 would be celebrating 2 years to end the show because I wanted the show to have an ending point. But at the same time, I obviously, over the last 2 years that ToonCast had been airing, we've gotten a lot of praise, a lot of everything, and, a lot of iTunes reviews, good and bad. Bad as far as some people just being stupid jackasses, and good in some people actually giving us constructive criticism. We've garnered a huge following, so I wanted to figure out a way to continue that, but I didn't just want to. ToonCast had a set plot. The cartoons we grew up with is its tagline, and it was anything from the 1920s to right at 1999. And I know that I broke that rule 2 times, once with Clerks and once with Titan AE. But it was cartoons that we grew up with. That was the point of it. Kevin and I wanted to talk about Voltron and Mask and Thundercats, which is better than Silverhawks, and Gem and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, the Sunbow series, and all that stuff, plus the Disney films and all that. So right around somewhere between 60 to 80, I had this plot. This joke kept coming up that I kept thinking about. In the Justice League Unlimited episode of Epilogue, there's a title card that says 65 years from now. And the whole point of the Batman Beyond line in the DCAU is Batman Beyond takes place 50 years from whenever now is. So then I came up with the whole joke of 65 years in the future. So that's where that came from. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of hit me. ToonCast Beyond would be the successor to ToonCast. And ToonCast is either now called ToonCast Proper or ToonCast Classic. I think I prefer Classic than Proper, because we are by far anywhere but proper on that show. So that's where that came from, and that's what this is going to be. Basically, ToonCast Beyond will cover anything from 2000 to whenever now is. We will still be going back and doing what we are calling DeLorean time episodes. We're going to jump in the DeLorean with Doc Brown and Marty, and we're going to go back. We're going to cover Centurions. We're going to cover Pirates of Darkwater, Mega Man, Donkey Kong Country. All the cartoons that weren't on the ToonCast schedule, we will be covering here in ToonCast Beyond. Two things that we are still, one thing we are still not doing. We will not be covering anime. If you want an amazing anime podcast, check out An Amazing Podcast from Earth2.net with Kellen, Randy, and Steph. If you guys want to hear anime talk, head over there. An Amazing Podcast is a great, great show. The other thing that just makes no sense to me, along with DC and Chicken Pot Pod, we will not be erasing our entire history of ToonCast and start over. That's not happening. It's just not. So, any thoughts, Kevin?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be good here about this. I mean, we're going to get to see some stuff that we forgot maybe in the proper or classic version, if you want to say it. And we're going to get to venture into some newer stuff, which up until the last couple of years I would not have been interested in, but there's been some cool stuff coming out lately, finally. So that excites me.
Steve?
Yes.
Is that all you can say?
Yes. I'm looking forward to some of the stuff. I'm looking forward to some of the DeLoreans, quite possibly more. But that's more so because it's random.
Right.
Kind of like ToonCast proper.
Right, but because Kevin did help me out a lot on the schedule that we have set up. Right now, ToonCast Beyond is scheduled through 200 episodes. And the point of the way that we're running this version of ToonCast is that it's in seasons, so there will be breaks. So Season 1 runs from November 11th, 2011 to May 30th, 2012, and then there'll be like a 2.5, 3-month break, like an off-season. Since we're doing that, I wanted to, and this is also Kevin's thing as well, he said, why don't we do spotlights for each season? And I wanted enough time between certain spotlights where I could catch up to a DVD of it and be able to watch it, or something like that. The action spotlight specifically, that originally was going to be Season 2. With all the stuff that's in the action spotlight, there's no way that I could have gotten to be able to watch all of that stuff. So seasons kind of moved around and everything else. I'm not opposed to doing a summer season at some point with nothing but DeLorean time episodes in it, but The actual schedule is set in stone.
So what he's saying is we'll be listening to ToonCast for the next 9 years.
You're still young. You got plenty of time.
I don't know if
So
podcasting
hopefully-
will be a form of listening for people in 9 years.
Hopefully, whatever season you're interested in is in the first couple. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. And Tara, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to really getting to be more a part of ToonCast because, you know, I'm still the new girl here on the Geekcast network, but I think this will really give me a great opportunity just to, you know, chat more about some shows that I have a better understanding of because since this is ToonCast Beyond, a lot of the shows that are on the schedule I grew up with. So it'll be great. It'll just be great to talk about it, and I'm looking forward to, you know, reminiscing about some of those old shows, you know, like Reboot and whatever else is on the schedule, and hopefully talking to some more voice actors because it was a great opportunity to speak to the two that I did in ToonCast, and just nostalgia. And I think this is going to be a really great podcast. ToonCast was an awesome podcast, so this one is definitely going to be a really great podcast.
It will be different, though, folks.
It will be extremely different.
If Mike has anything to say about it.
First of all, you won't be hearing me as much.
But
Well-
it will be full of win.
Well,
Or
you know,
fail.
Or a little of both.
On
Shut up,
occasion.
Megatron.
It's by winning.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Winning.
I cannot believe we have a goddamn Charlie Sheen reference in episode 0.
I love it.
Winning.
Oh,
Winning.
God. All right, so this is more so my continuation. Kevin will be on different seasons at different times, but this isn't something that we set out. This isn't like ToonCast Classic where Kevin and I had a plan together. This is me furthering the show. And there will be times with certain things that people will have a chance to guest host on the network. Like I know when we get into like season 7 and season 9 or season 6 and season 8, whatever those are, I don't have them in front of me. The 2 Cartoons of Randomness seasons. A lot of that stuff is Cartoon Network stuff, and I know Sketch over there at Toon Zone wants to talk about crap like Regular Show and Adventure Time and all that BS. So I mean, shut up. So there will be chances for people to guest on the show at times. The panel, besides myself, will rotate out depending on what the topic is. The DC Universe movies that actually are going to be starting from episode 2 to episode 10, I'm actually going to be crossing over with the animation aficionados, Neil Purcell and Ben Carver. Steve will be on, 3 of those? You want Gotham Knight, Superman, Batman, and the 2 Superman, Batman ones, right?
No Gotham Knight. Gotham Knight burning hell.
But it has Kevin Conroy.
It doesn't matter. That one sucks. That is one of the
I
worst.
don't disagree with you there, but...
I'm not doing that one.
Okay, so-
I can't even sit there and watch it. It's so bad.
Yeah, you won't be hearing me until at least like the episode 30 or something like that.
And Mike's going to be crossing the streams with other networks. Oh, yeah.
Same with me. You probably won't see me till like season 7.
no,
Something.
you're on episode 1. You'll be on episode 1 in November. We talked
Oh
about
wait, yeah.
that. Superhero Squad.
Oh yeah.
I'll show up for the DeLorean episodes,
I
otherwise you're not going
spoke
to hear
too soon.
Yes.
I'm starting my own DeLoreans.
from me. I'll be with Steve on those.
Stop trying to take over my shit, damn it.
I'll just reinvent ToonCast proper.
No.
ToonCast
Screw the
beforehand.
DeLorean.
No.
We'll jump back in my time ship.
Free ToonCast.
Steve,
No.
there's no assuming direct control on this podcast.
I don't have to direct control on this podcast. Nothing says I can't make another.
Fucker.
There's a
Oh.
mutiny.
Fucker.
It's a mutiny.
And yes, I made a Mass Effect reference.
Yes, I caught that. It's awesome.
And I make
Um,
Super Troopers reference.
yeah. Damn chicken fucker. Alright, so for the new shows that are still airing, here is the way we're going to run it down. We're going to run it down by setting the stage. Basically, this is kind of like Just the Facts type of thing where we give just some basic information about the show. First impressions, what we thought of it when we first just heard about it before we even saw the show. The Who's Who, obviously this is the voice actor cast thing. The Good, the Bad, and the Fugly, which is basically our thoughts, on the show in general. How the show stacks up. Does the show compare to other shows within the same franchise? How does it stack up against shows in the same genre? Stuff like that. The IGN Replacement Crew, which is on M-Wire as well and Telecast as well. So that's basically 1 through 4 of the ratings on that. When and where you can see it. This kind of replaces the Legacy segment. Some of the shows will just be on television, or some of them might have DVD releases by the time we get to them. So there's that. And then, of course, just the final words and then the outro. So that's going to be it for the actual cartoon series stuff, like I said before, Adventure Time and Pirates of Darkwater and Mega Man and that kind of stuff. The format for movies kind of follows the same thing, at least for 3 segments: setting the stage, the Who's Who, the Good, the Bad, and the Fugly. And then you've got Trivia Time, at the box office, the IGN Replacement Crew, DVD releases, and then final words. So it's pretty much like the ToonCast format, but obviously because it's new shows, we have to tweak it slightly.
And he crosses streams with M-Wire.
No, actually,
I know M-Wire cross streams with ToonCast Beyond,
I was
but technically
gonna say, yeah, I stole the movie format for M-Wire from ToonCast Beyond, so.
Technically, you didn't steal it because it's your show.
Well, technically, Kevin made the format in the first place, so.
Yeah,
well,
let's
you're
give
gonna
credit
get
where credit's due.
technical.
And I have decided to call the fans that were fans of ToonCast Classic and hopefully will come over to ToonCast Beyond. I found a really, really bad Spider-Man the Animated Series joke. The fans for ToonCast Beyond will be called Beyonders.
You shall rot in hell.
What? That's a good reference to
You and
Spider-Man
your
the
corny
Animated
ass
Series.
catchphrases.
And references and numbers. What?
Definitely Kmart brand. Kmart brand definitely sucks. definitely.
So the basic point is the format's going to change a little bit, and hopefully there'll be a little more discussion and a little less other stuff.
You can say it. A little less Wikipedia.
Yeah, a little less Wikipedia and
For
a lot
those
more
that hate
discussion,
Wikipedia.
myself included.
Wikipedia is not legal.
It's illegal?
Yeah, well, we found out how accurate Wikipedia could be. Mike and I were recording one day on Valentine's Day, and the entry changed drastically from the time Mike opened it and I opened it.
No, it did.
It did, like within minutes. Like I no sooner opened it, and then he opened it 2 minutes later.
Oh my god.
And it was completely different. Mine was the botched version, and his was the original Wikipedia content. And
Do you
let's
remember
just
when
say it left some colorful words, and it's somewhere in the archives of the site.
Oh god. Do you guys remember when Wikipedia first came out? I remember when I was in school, our teacher was like, "Hey, you can't use Wikipedia for research. It's not allowed."
Which is actually kind of stupid.
And we'd be like, "Why?" It's like
actually
Wikipedia.
it's stupid because you should be able to use the parts that actually have credited sources.
Yep.
See, I feel old because that wasn't around when I was in school to cheat from.
Me neither.
I mean,
I got in
they said no
trouble for-
Wikipedia.
I
They
used
said no
Cliff
Wikipedia,
Notes.
but we used it. And that too.
I got in trouble for Cliff Notes once.
We're way
Didn't
off.
end well for me.
So we will also be we will still be having interviews. One of the interviews that we will have, I don't know if ToonCast Beyond will feature it, but I know the Beast Unleashed podcast will feature it. We're going to be talking to the voice of Bling Bling Boy from Johnny Test. He also did what's that? He also did Vile in Mega Man X.
This is Covert Agent Ravage.
Yeah, everybody knows Lee Toker as Covert Agent Ravage from Beast Wars. That will be on the Beast Unleashed feed, though. The first interview that we've gotten for ToonCast Beyond is a update interview with Christy Marks. With Jem coming out full blast and the whole resurgence, we're going to get the full behind-the-scenes story of how she created the show and all that, and just talking about how the fans have been over the years, and with Shout Factory re-releasing the DVDs and the show being on the hub now. We're going to talk to her in depth about Jem, so that'll be one of the first interviews.
Okay, I have to say something since you're mentioning Jem. Jem is awesome, Chrissy Marks is awesome, and so glad Jem is coming back, because that was an awesome show. Even though I wasn't born when it first came out, but...
Well,
still an
Christy
awesome
Marks
show.
is pretty good anyway, and
Yeah,
I have other reasons
she's awesome to talk
She's
to.
a great writer. Like she's
Yeah.
written for like a lot of shows now.
Yeah, she's a
She's good for
really
Beast
great-
Wars too.
And Reboot.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had to mention Reboot.
Reboot is
Yeah,
awesome.
Tara's been hounding me about Reboot ever since she came on the network. I was like, sorry, ToonCast has a set schedule through the end of the show. We'll get to it later.
Yeah.
But next year
Yeah, next year.
I
we'll
get
be
my
rebooting
wish.
Mainframe.
Yeah. Not before the Reboot episode of ToonCast Beyond, though.
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm excited.
Don't tell
about
me what to
that.
do, fucker.
Uh-oh.
I can do whatever I want, chicken bugger.
Where are you,
So can I.
Steve? Are you Megabyte going viral?
Mutiny.
Yes,
Mutiny.
I like a bite. I wish I could do the voice too. That would be awesome, but nobody can do his.
No, Tony J died, sadly.
No, that guy was the shit.
He
And
was
everything he was in.
amazing. I want to meet the voice actor behind Hexadecimal. She was awesome. Sharon Alexander, I think her name is.
Mike would know. That's not his cup of tea.
Yeah.
He's like, it's a Tron ripoff.
I think it's Sharon Alexander.
Ian James Corlett was the second Bob.
Yeah. Was he Glitch Bob?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Glitch Bob was awesome.
If they're tied to Beast Wars, I know my shit.
Well, a lot of them were on Beast Wars, and then they went on to Reboot, no?
Yeah, Gary Chalk was one of the robos.
Were the same creators and writers of Beast Wars involved with Reboot?
It was a lot of crossover between them.
Yeah, so was Gavin Blair involved with Reboot, like he was with Beast Wars?
I don't know.
No? Oh,
I'm sure we'll discover that though when we get into that.
okay.
Yes. Anything else we need to say about what ToonCast Beyond's going to be?
People better check it out.
It's gonna be a whole lot of you.
It's a show.
Well, I am going to get other people.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. It's gonna be a whole lot of
Telecast
goodness.
is a whole lot of you, so,
Mike's
on,
gonna do a lot of
Steve.
crossing of the streams. I
Steve
think
has a-
Shut up with the damn Ghostbusters reference already.
I wasn't. I was doing both Ghostbusters and other reasons, but anyways.
Mike, I hate to say this, but it seems like Steve has assumed direct control of this podcast.
That's
No,
not
not this particular podcast, just the future one.
This episode, yes.
Nope,
Just the
not happening.
just the prequel.
Yes. the
Oh
prequel.
God. That's...
So yeah, expect a bunch of stuff. Expect some superhero crap, and then expect some DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney and MTV
other
and
crap.
Nickelodeon and all kinds of nonsense
And crap.
and crap. Comedy Central,
And-
Cartoon Network, everything.
And interesting discussions.
Yes.
Possible.
The seasons are as follows. Season 1 is superheroes, which Kevin doesn't care for. Season 2 is DreamWorks. Season 3, we will finish up the Disney film spotlight. Season 4 is Disney animation, where we talk about the television animation. Season 5 is Pixar Spotlight. Season 6 is the Action Spotlight. Season 7 is Cartoons of Randomness Part 1. Season 8 is other animated films like Despicable Me and,
Yes.
oh God, Romeo and Juliet. Oh, it was a horrible movie. And then Season 9 is another Cartoons of Randomness season. And, like Steve said, he wants to do more DeLorean times, and like I said, that's fine. We could do some sort of summer season where they're all special episodes, and that's more than fine. But just the way that the schedule was plotted out, there was only really room for like 3 to 4 DeLoreans per season. So
I rule you.
no, you don't. So we are gonna go to some ads, and we'll come back with the outro.
Movie Week in Review is the Geekcast Radio Network's weekly movie podcast. Steve and Mike take a look back on their favorite films and give you their thoughts. They also bring in co-hosts at times. If you are a movie buff, listen to M-Wire only on GeekCastRadio.com.
Emerging from the dark humor that was the Beast Unleashed podcast, Steve Megatron, TFG and Mike, and Pecan Court Michael move on to Transformers Animated, coming June 26, 2011, Transformation Animation Podcast. 15 podcast episodes covering all 3 seasons of Transformers Animated and the awesome toy line as well. We will also have cast and crew interviews, so get tapped this summer with the Geekcast Radio Network's next Transformers franchise podcast, Transformation Animation Podcast.
Decepticons, transform and rise up.
ToonCast is dedicated to the cartoons we grew up with. 100 episodes and more make up one of the GCRN's most popular podcasts. Join hosts TFG and Mike, Optimus Solo, Terror the Rising Star, and tons of guest hosts. We also have voice actor and writer interviews. Tune in to ToonCast as we look back on the cartoons that defined us as geeks. You can find ToonCast on iTunes and the web at www.geekcastradio.com. Tune in.
So we are back, and before we go, Steve, any final legitimate thoughts without trying to take over my show? God damn it!
I'm the goddamn Batman, bitch.
But
And you do wear the hockey pants.
yes, this show will be definitely good. It'll be a different turn, but it'll still be just as fun as listening to ToonCast, and it'll be a little bit more variety too. So you won't have as much of the wiki jumping in there and anything else.
Yes, that'll be a good thing. And I don't know, I'm just interested to see what it'll be like. I'm interested to see the changes and see the dynamics and just see how it progresses over time.
Yeah, one quick thing I need to mention. With ToonCast Beyond, I have a set intro that I'm going to be using, and all of the show music will be advertising each next episode. So in the case of this one, everyone will have heard the intro that I made up. And then after we finish this outro,
I'm scared.
Will be the music for the next episode. I don't know. I'm still working on how I'm going to get that done. Tara, any final thoughts before we do the outro?
For sure. My final thought would just be, check it out. Keep your eyes open for just another great season of ToonCast Beyond, and I'm just really looking forward to it, and it's great to be back with the gang.
Kevin, any final thoughts? Or did you already give your... I can never remember when the hell you go. You're a moron, you asshat.
Yeah, I already gave them.
Thank you for joining us here on ToonCast Beyond. There are still ways to get in contact with us to leave feedback for the show. Visit the website, geekcastradio.com. You can comment on each episode post. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. The iTunes feed will be up soon-ish. Don't know exactly when. Follow us on Twitter. The show Twitter is ToonCast Beyond. Mine is TFG and Mike. Steve, what is your Twitter?
SCP-21.
Kevin?
Optimus Solo.
And Tara?
Tara Blair.
Become a fan on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/Geekcast Radio Network.
This is the biggest train wreck of an episode I've ever seen.
Shut up! Call the voicemail line. Tell us the show you're leaving the message for and your name. 502-526-5821. We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToonCast Beyond and wish you'll join us next time when we will be kicking off Season of Superheroes with the Superhero Squad show. For now, I am TFG1 Mike with...
Tara the Rising Star, a.k.a. Princess Peach.
Optimus Solo from BehindTheVoiceActors.com.
Steve Megatron Phillips, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen, a.k.a. Carlos Estevez, a.k.a. your mom.
Shut your face.
Mario,
I'm
Bowser's
winning.
at me again.
Winning.
I'm winning.
Mario.
Thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you in November if the show lasts that long.
Mike's not winning. He doesn't have his Adonis DNA.
Epic fail.
Epic fail.
Charlie Sheen is an epic fail.
With that infinity sword, I will rule the universe! All right, squaddies, time to hero up!